Hello, welcome to video 2 of the positive possibilities for Reiki treatments. This video is going to be talking about bone regeneration and bone growth. I recently read of a study on the internet, actually. I wish I had the link handy, but I don't. But you can Google it and find it there. Reference bone growth and Reiki. What they found was that when bone marrow cells were taken and placed in a petri dish in a laboratory and exposed to Reiki energy, they had, I think, 5 different petri dishes that was exposed to Reiki given by a Reiki master, and 5 dishes that were exposed to a placebo or an actor pretending to give Reiki. In other words, the actors were taught to hold their hands over the petri dish and pretend to be doing the same thing that the Reiki masters were doing. The end result was that the cells in the petri dishes that were exposed to Reiki applied by a Reiki master, those cells grew at an accelerated rate. The cells that were exposed to the actors pretending to give Reiki, they didn't do anything. They just kind of sit there. Nothing happened. So that would lead one to believe in a clinical setting that bone growth and the healing of, for example, a broken bone, break your leg, break your arm, break a finger, whatever, that broken bone, the healing of that broken bone would be accelerated with the application of Reiki. That was a clinical study. It's on the internet. It's verifiable. And this is how I verified that same clinical study for myself, because I thought, well, that's pretty miraculous. People are growing bones? Wow. Okay. Well, being one with an inquisitive mind, like I am, I had a friend that she had been involved in an automobile accident about 2 years ago. Had the sunroof out in the vehicle, and when they rolled this vehicle, her arm went out the sunroof in the process of rolling around inside in the wreck, and her arm was broken pretty severely. They had to go in and do surgery to repair it. In the process of this surgery, they put plates in along the bones in order to reset everything, get everything put back the way they felt it should be, and allow the bone to do what they were hoping that it would do naturally, and then grow back and become a usable arm again, as opposed to a broken mess, which is pretty much what she had when she was involved in the accident. Well, after a couple of surgeries and return trips to a bone specialist every 6 months, 3 months actually, every 3 months, she would return. Every 90 days, she would return to the orthopedic specialist at the hospital here in the mid-Missouri area. I won't say which one, doesn't matter. X-rays showed no bone growth, no healing, nothing was happening. So she suffered with this for roughly 2 years. And then we got to talking about Reiki one day, and I told her that I had read this study about the petri dishes and the accelerated bone growth and what have you. And she said, well, would you be willing to try that on my arm? I haven't gotten anywhere with it for roughly 2 years. Well, I said, well, of course, absolutely. I'd like to see if it's going to work that way for you. Well, I treated her one time, One time, I couldn't believe it. One time I treated her. She had a upcoming appointment with her specialist. She went. This was about a week and a half to 2 weeks after I treated her the one time. She called me that morning after she left the bone specialist. She woke me up. I wasn't even up yet. She was on one of those early appointments. I wasn't even up yet. And she woke me up to tell me that she had been released from the clinic after no results and a lot of arm pain and a lot of being uncomfortable. Of course, if you've got steel plates in your arm and a broken bone that's not healing, of course you're going to be uncomfortable. Of course there's going to be some pain involved in that. Well, her pain has been managed and reduced to basically nothing. Some minor discomfort from time to time, as she describes it, when she overdoes it. Otherwise, day in and day out, she's pretty comfortable with her arm nowadays. And the bone has grown back. She got x-rays. She received copies of her x-rays. So she's seen it for herself. And the doctor released her, said that we don't need to do anything else for you. Your arm is healed. You're done. I don't know what changed. I don't know what's different in this past 90 days as opposed to previous 90-day segments. But somehow or another, your arm it's grown back. Everything's together, and you're released. We're done with you. So there you have it. Bone growth. So if you have broken bones, if once again, any of these surgical techniques and whatnot, you've had to do go in and have pins placed in a hand or a foot or an ankle or what have you, anything that would require the regrowth of bone, regeneration of bone, then I would have to say I recommend Reiki treatments. In this particular case, it only took one treatment. Will it work that way for you? No guarantees, no promises. One thing I will promise you is it won't hurt. It won't hurt to try. It can only help. In this case, we got it done in one treatment. What it will be in your case, I don't know. But I do know that the Reiki, the treatment that I did on her, was the only thing that changed between all the other visits that she made to the doctor and the visit she made to the doctor whereby she was released. So, judge for yourself. Did it work? I think so. Until next time, look me up on Facebook. Check me out, Mid-Missouri Reiki. Leave your questions, leave your comments. I welcome them, and I promise you I'll do the very best I can to respond to each and every one of them. Have a blessed day.